Hey guys, it's Jouelzy, and it's super gloomy outside. I was like looking forward to shooting some video on this new camera in the daylight. But I think, Dallas is crying because last night's episode of Insecure, everybody was just like lost all sense of common sense. Like everybody was just dumb. There's just so many things to say about episode 5 of Insecure, Shady as fuck. Where do I begin? Okay, let's just start with Lawrence. Lawrence honestly trying. And in that opening scene, first of all, it was funny when he says Lucy rhymes with pussy. He heard Issa when she said what she needed from him and is trying to right a wrong. Issa, on the other hand, is extremely needy and selfish. Issa in real life is a Capricorn. Is her character on the show a Capricorn? Because this is Capricorn behavior. Like, girl, she's just unwilling to give the same level of emotional support that she requires from Lawrence. And it's just like, girl, folks keep saying that Issa's really good at sneaking Drake lines into every episode. I'm not that big of a fan of Drake. I be trying it and I'll be like, I actually don't know the lyrics to his song. Can y'all help me out, please, here? Before I start digging into Molly and Issa, I do appreciate that they are kind of showing, at least with Issa's character, I got some other feelings about Molly, but with Issa's character, she's allowed to be imperfect. After watching this episode, I was really trying to figure out, do I know people in real life like this? Who am I judging? Am I feeling some type way because I personally, this is not how I would maneuver, but maybe this is speaking to another woman's story. I don't actually know anyone like Molly because I would never be friends with someone like Molly. I have this rule of thumb with my homegirls where I don't judge them or berate them for the decisions that they make with their body and when it comes to dating. I also don't entertain when my homegirls constantly go back and make the same mistake over and over again. Like, I'll be the helpful ear, I'll be the listening ear, I'll work through you emotionally with it the first time. You go back and do the exact same thing again, I'm just not gonna be that. I'm not gonna be sympathetic. And so friendships with people like that don't work. I'm really just kind of thrown at how pressed Molly is. Like, every scene with her at the law firm, she has it together all the way. She is good at her job. When she told Issa, bitch, I'm a real ass lawyer, on the floor, laughter, but like it was straight, it was serious, and she's about her business. So for her to fall completely apart with not an ounce of common sense when it comes to dating just does not correlate to me. Like, I don't get how you could be that smart and that dumb. Dana with all his beigeness playing Chris on this show. Pop that pussy. If you wanted to hop into bed with the Negro first night, cool. But to immediately wake up with him and be talking about, oh, you can just leave an outfit here. Do you want to come to an engagement party? Like, come meet my friends. Like, you just met dude like 48 hours ago. What are you doing? And he so smoothly dodged all of her thirst bullets without disrespecting her or running away. When he showed back up at the engagement party, which was like, okay, this was like the same thing that Atlanta did with Juneteenth, like so over the top and obnoxious in playing on kind of these racial riffs. A lot of the B characters are very over the top in this show, I guess for humor and to kind of drive the point home. But when Chris showed up, that was a smooth move. He came through and smoothly read Molly for filth in the most politest way possible. Told this girl that she is a thirst bucket and needs to get it together. And he was actually like considerate and compassionate in telling her about herself. This don't even make no sense to me. I could rock. We not dealing with Jared, because you have every right to require someone to be able to take care of you in the same way that you take care of yourself. That includes financially. Molly not a gold digger. Molly done went to law school, passed one of the hardest bars in the state of California. She's a lawyer. She deserves to date people that are in her tax bracket. I get that, sis. But then you get a guy in your tax bracket, you get a guy that's considerate enough to be upfront with you and to show up for you, and then you go running back to the Enterprise guy like, you dumb. She's just like, I don't even like, I was Jared, I would have closed the door on her. I was like, you can go pop a squat in between them cars on the sidewalk, boo boo boo, friend zone that. I'm sure this level of intellect with total lack of common sense exists in this world, and I just don't want it anywhere in my bubble. So I'm just sitting here like, what? Lawrence and the bank teller Tasha. You know what? I still think Tasha basic, because she showed up in that basic ass Fashion Nova Instagram best outfit at Best Buy. Talk about jalapeno poppers and margaritas. Lawrence slam dunked that. For as much as I would be inclined to critique Tasha and her behavior, peep game. When Lawrence says, I have a girlfriend, what does Tasha do? Escort herself out. When Issa says, oh, I have a boyfriend, what does Daniel do? Go for the draws. You tell Daniel you got a boyfriend and he turns into a total creep. This nigga ain't even take Issa out on a real ass date. They didn't even go for jalapeno poppers and margaritas. You've known her all these years, and the memories of going on a date with you ended at Jack in the Box? I know women cheat, right? I get this. I don't necessarily get like how simple it was for her to him slide up in them drawers. I don't get how someone could request so much of their mate and then turn around, let this small ass mouth nigga get all up in it. Like, his mouth bothers the shit out of me. Like, I really, I just wish there was more, he did more to actually build up to this illusion that Issa has of him. I'm just never a person who's been that pressed for the dick. I just never have been. And then for her to like get up from it and be like giddy about it until she saw the soap pump in the bathroom. Daniel got a nice ass though, but other than that, I'm just sitting there like, girl, I would never in my life go to the studio. And this is a thing you understand, like I worked in the music industry. The one thing I never did, especially when it came to male artists, was go to the studio with them. The studio is notoriously thought land. Like, if you don't have nothing to add to the production of the music and that process, you're literally sitting there in a room full of men smoking and drinking. Nothing good really ever comes from you being a groupie in the studio. I thought some of these women at least had like a modicum of common sense. Daniel has been nothing but a creep from beginning to end. And I'm just so lost at how easy this whole thing was for him. I really hope that Issa doesn't immediately go tell Lawrence that she cheated. Not that Lawrence deserves to be lied to, but I need her to work out whatever like emotional hang up she has, whatever wall of Jericho she done built up that doesn't allow people in, that doesn't allow her to really express her vulnerability. It doesn't allow her to understand what she actually wants in life. I need her to work. I need her and Molly to somehow work. We need a therapist to pop up. How you make it this far to be this dumb? Preview for next episode. I'm really interested to see how they handle the fluidity of a man's sexual identity, whatever Jared might have did. I'm just so surprised that Jared so willingly is taking back someone who's foolish. And Jared hasn't even proven himself to be worth, like, for me, that's just a setup to allow you to continue to do your fuck shit. When we was younger, right? Or maybe some of y'all is grown and been doing this. But I remember when I was early 20s, purposely dealing with men whose hubris I could see from like a mile away, because it allowed me to go in and control the relationship, allowed me to not have to step up to the table and be a better person and do better. I was entering into relationships with no intention. And I feel like Issa and Molly are both too grown to be maneuvering through life like that. Like, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this episode. Do you think Issa should tell Lawrence right away? What is Molly's problem? Like, can somebody articulate that? Because maybe I'm lost for words in the comments down below. And was there a Drake lyric in this episode? Deuces!